All right, folks, welcome back. We're going to try another game today. We've got another hard puzzle. Let's see what we have got. Lots of numbers everywhere. Okay. I start looking for pairs. I noticed a pair of sevens right off the bat, so no seven over here in this third cube on the top or the bottom. So we got to have a seven down here. I noticed a pair of ones here coming towards the center cube. No one across the top because of this feller. No one through the middle. Gives us a hard one over here. Okay, now this 4 comes across through the middle, so we have to have a 4 in one of these two spots. We have a pair of 6s that come across, so no 6 on the top, no 6 on the bottom. Hard 6 goes there. All right, now we have this cool little alley here, 1, 3, 6, 4, so this 3 has to be up here. Now we have a ghost row here, folks. This ghost row comes down here, says no 3 across the top. This one says no 3 across the bottom. And of course we have some 3s down here to help us out. So the only spot left for a 3 is right here. Okay, all right, that's handy dandy. Let's see what else we have. I think that's a really good start. Let's move down to these 3 cubes here. We have a pair of 9s. And we have a pair of 8s that match that. So we're going to get a double elimination here right off the bat. This 8 and 9 can't be across the top, so 8 and 9 has to be across the bottom. So that also gives us an elimination. These bottom 2 cannot be anything else. It's called a double lock is what I call that thing. So for instance, see this 1 here that would come across and a 1 down here. So 1 typically could go down here, but because of this 8 and 9, it cannot. So our 1 actually has to be across the top now. So no 1 here because of this ghost row, no 1 through the middle because of this one, no 1 down the left side. So in the center cube, the 1 has to go in one of these two spots. So those 8 and 9s, these double locks are very important, especially in these harder games. Okay, let's see. Any other pairs that kind of jump out? See this 5 comes across now, and with these 2 double locked, and this 5 comes up, so we actually only have 1 spot left for the 5. That's good. Okay, now we have a 5 top and a 5 middle. So the 5 has to be here in the middle, bottom. Okay. All right, let's look at these bottom 3. We have a pair of 7s that come to the left that give us a 7 across the top. And that's about all of our pairs that I can see from those bottom 3. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start working vertically. So I have a pair of 1s, so we have to have a 1 here in the middle. We have a pair of 2s that come up, so there's actually only 1 physical spot for a 2 now. That's helpful. We have some 7s here, so that means our 7 has to be in the center here. Okay, we've got 1s, we've got 2s, we've got 7s. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, let's move over to these 3 here. I got a pair of 8s. That means this one's the only one spot physically left for an 8. We have a pair of 7s. So it tells us our 7 has to be over here on the right side. I think that's all the pairs that I see at the moment. So let's look at these last 3 cubes. We've got 3s, we've got 4s, we've got 5s, but they all leave us with 3, so we'll leave those for just a moment. Okay, this row only has 3 spots left. Anytime there's only 3 spots, I like to look and see what the numbers are. So we've got 1, we need a 2, it looks like a 2, 5, and 9. Okay, so I do have 1 9 here, so that means the 9 will have to be either here or here. Now this 9 will come up, we'll put a 9 here, okay? Has to be in one of these 2 spots. And we still have a 5 and a 2. And that's what looks like missing too in this cube is a 5 and a 2. Those can go everywhere. Okay. We do have a 9 that comes up here, and now that we have just the one row, so now we have we've got a solid 9 and we have a ghost column 9, so the 9 actually has to be over here. That's helpful. We need an 8 over here somewhere, and a 5. 8 and a 5, those are our other two numbers that are missing. Okay, that's all right. This column here, we have a 9, we have an 8, 7. Okay, we need a 6. And that can pretty much go everywhere. We need a 5, and that can go everywhere but here. 4. We need a 3. Okay, so we don't have a lot of limits, and that's okay. I'm trying not to mark too many just yet. Okay, all right. Now I'm also looking for pairs both vertically and horizontally. Sometimes they'll mark each other out one way. Okay, so like see this 6 here comes down. So I know I have to have a 6 either here or here because these two are double locked. So this 6 will help me over here. Sweet. So in this cube here, I can't have a 6 across the top, and I can't have a 6 down the middle. So the only spot that actually can have a 6 is right here. Now what that also does for me is you see this 9 and 5 can't go here. So now my 9 and 5 are double locked here. What was the other number we're missing? Is it 3? That is the only spot that it can go. Even though I can't eliminate the 3 down here, because these two numbers are lined up in this cell, they have to come down here double locking them. So 3 can only fit right here. Okay. Now we do have a 3 across the top, a 3 through the middle, 3 through the center. So we have to have a 3 in one of these two spots. Okay, so now this 5 comes across and the 7 comes down, which double locks these two cells. They have to be 5 and 7. The only number we're missing is a 4, so it has to go here. See how that 5 and 7 vertically and horizontally turn this square off? Okay. All right. Very good, very good. Now this 5 comes up and it gives me a 5 in one of these two cells. Now see this 5 and 9 again? This 5 and 9 now double lock, which tells me it cannot be a 3 anymore, because if this is a 5, this is a 9. If this is a 5, this is a 9. Either way, these two cells are now locked because of this 9 and this 5. So it tells me this is the only spot left for a 3. Okay, and then what is the other number we're missing in this cube? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 is the only number left that goes there. So now we have a 1, and then it looks like a 4 is the other number we're missing. So now this 1 and 4 is double locked. Oop, not a 7, a 4. There we go. And now we know these three numbers, of course, because we've got a 5 and 9 locked, and these are all locked. We have 1, 2, we have a 3. Okay, so the 3 can't be on the bottom, so the 3 has to be one of the top two. 4, 5, we need a 6. Now 6 can go everywhere. Now because these are locked, I'm just going to go ahead and mark them all. 7, and then we need an 8. Cool. Now look, 8 can't be on the bottom. So 3 and 8 are double locked up on top, so they can't be anything else. And plus, now this is the only one spot that could be a 6. So these double locks are really, really neat. They're really helpful when we're putting those numbers in. Okay, so we just put a bunch of numbers in. I'm going to take just a moment here and look and see how they helped us. I got to look vertically and horizontally again now. Okay, so we've got we still need a 2. It looks like 2s are going to be a little tricky. Okay, 5, 4, 3. So 7 and 2s can pretty much go everywhere for this particular row. Okay. So I have my 8 and my 9. Got my 7, my 6. Okay, so see this bottom row here? I was looking for a 5. Okay, this 5 here helps me over here. That has to be a 7. This one has to be a 5. That was the thing I was seeing here too. See this 5? I can't have a 5 here. This 5, I can't have a 5 here. So that one's the only one left for a 5. Now, with these as an 8 and a 9, this is the only 7 that can exist. Because see, this 7 can't go here, this 7 can't go here, and these two cells are double locked. So 7 has to go here. And now my 1 and my 3 are revealed. I can get rid of this pencil mark here. Alright, so that just put some numbers in place. I've got a pair of 3s. So now my 3 has to be up here, and that matches here. Cleans it up nice. I have a pair of 1s, which now double lock the 1s and 3s right here. See this double lock? Okay, so they cannot be anything else other than 1 and 3. 1 and 3, 1 and 3, they crisscross. Okay. Okay, so now I have this 5 that comes down this way and a 5 that comes across this way, which tells me this is actually the only spot left for a 5. That's going to come over here and help us with these 5s and 9s. Okay, these double locks are very helpful. You got to keep a close eye on those. Now this 5 comes up and now says that my 5 has to be here, and then we're still missing a 2, but we haven't sorted that one out just yet. But we're getting there. Okay, now these two are double locked. This one can't be a 4. This one can't be a 4. So in this column, this is actually the only spot that can be a 4. Okay, now that makes this spot the only spot that can be a 5. Okay, and I'll clean up my 4 there. Now I need a 2, not a 5. There's my 2 and my 9. Those are double locked. So the other two numbers that we're missing go here or here, which are, what are the other two numbers we're missing? 1, 2, 3. We need a 4. 5, 6. We need a 4 and a 6. Cool. So there's a 6 right there. So there goes our 4, and there goes our 6. Those are the two numbers that we're missing. Now this 4 is going to come over here and help us with these two that are double locked. 1 and a 4. Okay. And that's how they do it. They just cascade and fold over and help each other out. Okay. So now I got two numbers missing here, a 2 and a 4. Cool, and we have a 4 here helping us out here, so this one has to be our 2. And we also have a 4 over here, so only spot for a 4. There we go. Now we just have one number missing here. That's our silly 2 that's been a little bit cantankerous. Alright, so up here we've got a 7 that's missing. Alright, I'm just going to put that in so we remember what the other number is. And now that cube is fully marked out. Okay. All right, so we know we have a 2 and a 9 here, so that means this one has to be a 2 and a 9. Only two numbers left. Okay, I can't have a 2 across the bottom, so the 2 has to be up here. So I've got a 1, my 2's up here, 3, 4. I've got a 5 that comes across and a 5 that comes this way. So 5 has to be either here or here. We've got a 6. We've got our 7 marked. Okay, we have an 8 and an 8, so 8 has to be across the top. We can mark those. And then no help on the 9, though. Okay, well, let me mark my 2's. Okay, 9's look like they can still go everywhere. We haven't gotten that one resolved just yet. Okay. All right, so now we have a pair of 4's down the middle and the right, and we have a pair of 4's top and bottom. So the only spot left for a 4 is right there. Okay, we just put in a bunch of numbers, so I'm just double checking my crisscrosses. Okay, 2 spots left here. Looks like a 2 and a 9, and that matches up with this 2 and a 9 that's missing. 2 and a 9. 2 and a 9. Okay. All right. What's the other number that we're missing here? We know we need a 2 and a 9, so here's a 2, here's a 2, here's a 9, there's the 9. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we need a 6, and there's my 6 across the bottom. Okay, so that evens that out, so 6 has to be here or here. Okay, that works. Okay, so here is a cool double lock feature here too. So you saw how we were doing double locks over here. See, this has to be a 2 and a 9. We know that has to be a 2 and a 9. We know this has to be a 2 and a 9. Now what that tells me, in this whole row, we cannot have any other 2s or 9s. So I can eliminate the 2 from being here. I can eliminate the 9 from being in these two spots. And I can eliminate the 9 from being here. Because if this is a 2, this is a 9. If this is a 2, this is a 9. Which tells me this cannot be a 9. It has to be an 8. Because a 9 would knock both of those out of even being possible. So this 8 is going to help us out. So now this is not an 8. This one has to become an 8 because that's the only spot left for it. Okay, I cannot have a 9 here. And I cannot have a 2 here because these 2 and 9 are double locked. And I can't have a 7 here. So this is the only spot left for a 5. Okay, so my 5 and 9s are now going to be helped. 9, 5. I'll clean up my pencil mark here. Now I'm missing a 2, a 9, and a 7, but my 2 and 9 are double locked here, so they cannot be anywhere else in this column. So that means this one has to be my other 2 or 9. I can't have a 2 and a 9 here and a 2 and a 9 here, and this being a 2 and 9. These two help us out, so this one actually has to be a 7. And I already have a 2 over here, so that makes this one my 2, makes this one my 9. Alright, this 2 comes over here and helps us with this one and that one. Okay, my 7, I'm going to come down here and clean up my pencil mark. And now that we have this 2, we're just going to cascade this feller down to the 9. We're going to cascade this feller to the 2. Now if this isn't a 2, it has to become a 6. If this isn't a 6, it's a 9. There we go. Okay, and the numbers just start to fall into place. Alright, with a 6 across the top and a 6 down the right side, this one is the only one left for a 6. And now that's going to make this one a 6, that's going to make this one a 1, and this one a 7. So keeping these pencil marks really help us out. A pair of 1s now leaves us only one spot for a 1. Now if that's a 1, this is our 3. If that's a 3, there's our 1. If that's a 3, then this one becomes our 8. This one becomes our 3. Okay, we just have one number missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now vertically we're only missing one number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the other number missing is that 2 that we have left. So there we have it, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Always recommend pausing it before we play and print you off a couple copies and play along with. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and always welcome comments, suggestions, or challenges. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll catch you next time. Bye.